If you're an athlete or a high performer of any kind, you've had those moments where you're in flow, where you're out of your mind, where you're just on another level. And you could probably see those images flashing through your mind as we speak. And yet you can't be consistent in that for some reason, except the reason is because you're trying to take credit for your performance. And you're like, yeah, I put the work in, but of course I'm going to take credit for my performance. But I'm not talking about taking credit for what led up to that. The practice, the hours. I'm not talking about taking credit externally if it makes sense to do so. I'm talking about when you play and you get off the court or the stage and people say, look what you did. And you say, look what I did. The ego immediately crept in and took credit for something that was spontaneous and flowing and inspired and was just happening through you. If you think about it, you might notice that was the sensation. You weren't thinking, it was just flowing through you. Call it God, call it the universe, call it a creative intelligence, call it what you want, whatever resonates with you. But that's the first step. That's the antidote to the ego, to the inconsistency that comes from trying to take credit and say, I did it, is giving credit to a higher power. And we don't want to do that, which is why our ego takes credit for it. That's the nature of it. But it is also the bane of our consistency, because now we go home and we say, oh, I got to do that again next time. Now there's anxiety. Now there's pressure. And now, as you know, sports and any kind of creative endeavor is a rhythm thing. And if you're carrying around the weight of that imaginary I that has to replicate the last performance, now you're slightly out of rhythm. Now you're not responding to the moment and what unfolds in front of you. And that's what you were doing when you were doing that performance. And that could carry into the next 30 games or the next 30 performances or whatever it is. You could play well, but you're not going to play as well as before, despite the fact that you're trying to, and it's probably because you're trying to. What about when you're in a slump? Well, I am not playing well. I am not playing well as the version of me that was playing well, the memory, and so I feel bad and am in my head and in my feelings and then go in a spiral down to the bottom, all because of the ego. So the antidote is to give credit to something greater than yourself, whatever resonates with you, and to stay focused on the process, just the task. That's what you take credit for, is the preparation, the work you put in for something greater to flow through you when it comes down to game time or performance time. And then you don't have to say, I have to play well. You just relax and trust that something will flow through you. And then you can be consistent. Then you might even be consistent in playing in a flow. And then your consistency can skyrocket. But you can be dang sure that your ego will come in and try to take credit again, because that's what it does. So you have to be vigilant. That's why the other main tool to manage that ego and stay task and process oriented is meditation. There's tons of free meditations on this channel for just that. There's a high performance playlist that might suit you well if you were drawn to this video. And I also offer coaching, workshops. You can check the description if you think we might be a good fit to work together. But either way, make this shift. Notice what happens over time when you plant this seed. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts, reflections, personal experiences are with this, and how it unfolds for you as you implement this. And have a great day.